Good evening, everyone. I don't know if you can all hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. You can just leave a message on the YouTube chat saying that you can hear me. So I can see your messages on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining today's session. My name is Lanre Kemode, and I'll be anchoring today's live mentoring session with Dr. Chinasa Amadi. So I'm just going to start off with a few housekeeping rules. You can leave your questions in the chat box when it's time for us to take the Q&A session. We would attend to your questions. So I'm just going to get right into why we're here today. So a lot of you have been participating in the 14 days EatClean challenge, and it has been very exciting and encouraging to see the huge turnout, the huge participation. The group on Telegram has been very energetic, the participation on Instagram as well. We're very excited as an organization to see how enthusiastic a lot of Nigerians are about eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle. So as you know, this is a session this is a session being that was put together by So Fresh Nigeria. So basically, So Fresh is a pioneer and the #1 healthy food chain brand in Nigeria. We're very passionate about propagating the message of healthy, clean eating, and just going beyond that, we're also passionate about propagating the message of a healthy lifestyle. So Fresh provides fresh, delicious, nutrient-rich, healthy meals to Nigerians, and we're committed to promoting a healthy lifestyle, even beyond our eating habits, and ensuring that we are healthy holistically. So I'm going to go into why we came about this 14 days challenge. So you know it's the beginning of the year. A lot of us have goals concerning our life and goals concerning our well-being. So we put together this challenge basically to bring together a community of people and to provide community support. So if you've been a part of this challenge, you notice that people have been sharing their meals. We have a 4-week meal plan that will be a 4-week meal plan that will guide your eating habits over the course of this challenge and even beyond the challenge. Then we also have health tips that we post on the group every day. We have meal reviews from our experts in-house. And we also have this wonderful session put together to be where you get to learn from a certified lifestyle and wellness expert. So I'm just going to go on to introduce Dr. Chinasa, who is our coach for today. So Dr. Chinasa Amadi is a Russian-trained medical doctor. She's a lifestyle medicine physician and a UK-certified weight loss coach and nutritionist. Dr. Chinasa is passionate about helping her community to adopt a healthy lifestyle and to lead healthy lives. And she does this through our platform, Ariella Health and Fitness. So you can go onto her Instagram and follow her. So Dr. Chinasa is going to be taking it over from here. She's going to speak with us for 20 minutes. Then afterwards, we'll have our question and answers. So guys, leave your messages, your questions for Dr. Chinasa. Leave it on the YouTube chat feature. So Dr. Chinasa, you can take it off from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and welcome everybody. So just a quick question. Where do I see the chats, and where does the chatting happen? On YouTube? Just to confirm.
Yes, it's happening on YouTube.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So you have to keep updating me when people make comments,
Yes,
Larry.
sure. Yeah,
Excellent,
sure.
because I'll throw some questions. I will need some response back. So
Yeah.
welcome everybody and happy New Year to you. And I hope that you have I'm so happy with what So Fresh is doing. And I like the fact you say they are #1 as a healthy food brand in Nigeria. And that is why they are very intentional about helping you, giving back to the community to make sure that you are healthy. And that's why this session is here. So if you can see my screen, just tell me you can see my screen. So Larry, you just tell me, can you see my screen? And then we take it from there.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Excellent. So I'll just quickly run along and we'll be talking basically about how to start your healthy eating lifestyle. And how to start your healthy eating lifestyle. And my name, as introduced, is Chinasa Amadi. I'm a lifestyle medicine physician, and as the bio already read, I'm founder of Rela Health and Fitness. So today we're going to be discussing what is healthy eating lifestyle in the first place, because there's a lot of misconception about that. What is that? Then we'll talk about mindset shift. We'll now list out certain guidelines following how to follow a healthy dietary pattern, how to pay attention to meal portions, limiting foods that are high in sugar and saturated fats, run from trans fats, and limit alcohol intake. So this is what we'll be discussing in this session. So if you're with me so far, please just give me a sign, say something, and let me know that you are with me so far. Are you with me so far? Larry, give me a sign.
Yes. We're here. We are listening. And they are also on YouTube as well.
Okay, and they are acknowledging.
Yes, they are.
Excellent. Now, first of all, what is a healthy eating lifestyle? Before we go ahead, go with health, like the goal of a healthy eating lifestyle is to make sure that you are optimally healthy. That is the first goal. So if you're not if what you're doing is not making you optimally healthy, that is maximally healthy, then there's a problem. And what is health? Health is, the WHO defined health as a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of sickness or infirmity. So because you are not sick does not mean that you are healthy. Get that right. Because you're not lying on the hospital bed does not mean that you are healthy. You can be strolling the streets of Lagos, but you're unhealthy. It's important to know that. Because you are slim does not mean that you are healthy. Do you get that? Being slim does not mean that you are healthy. That is very important to note. So healthy eating lifestyle is important. But what is even a healthy eating lifestyle? What's a healthy eating plan? It's a plan that emphasizes on fruits, vegetables, fat-free or low-fat milk and milk products, and includes a variety of lean animal protein, and also plant proteins from your beans, from your peas, soy, nuts, and seeds. A healthy eating plan is also a plan that is low in saturated fats, trans fats, sodium, and other sugars. We'll talk more about this as we move on. A healthy eating plan stays within your calorie limits. And I'll just leave this calorie limit side flexible because different people have different goals while they're here. Some people are slim, but they realize they are not healthy. And because they are not healthy, they have come, maybe I want to add a little healthy weight, and that is why they are here. I want to just improve my health status, and that is why you're here. So whatever, why you are here, your calorie requirement will vary. Some people may want to eat 1 cup of beans. Some people may choose to eat 2 cups of beans because they don't want to lose weight, but they want to be healthy. Some people want to eat a bowl of the delicious So Fresh salad. Some people will order 2 bowls of So Fresh salad because they want more. So different calories for different people. So it's important to know that whatever your calorie limit is, staying within that calorie limit is also a healthy eating lifestyle. Why are we even talking about this? You see, it is more than just weight. Understand that. it is more than just weight. There is an epidemic right now of chronic diseases, non-communicable diseases. That is diseases that are not infectious, diseases that are almost 80 to 90% dependent on lifestyle. And a bulk of it is on what are we eating. Certain lifestyle diseases are what? High blood pressure, diabetes. Some cancers have been linked to lifestyle. Certain artery diseases, certain heart diseases, osteoarthritis, aging faster. People, you're 20 and you're looking like you're 42. These are conditions that have been linked to our lifestyle and predominantly linked to our dietary habits. So whatever your goal for being on this challenge is, starts with, say, I want to master healthy eating lifestyle. And I like the meal plan. It played with all these. Our fruits, our vegetables, our seeds, our legumes, they're all there. So that is more reason why you have to stick to the plan. But first of all, these guidelines, where does it start from? Mindset. If your mindset has not shifted, you're not going to succeed on this journey. I'm sorry to break it to you, because by February 14th, you're back to your old ways. And that will be sad. But what do we mean by a mindset shift? A mindset shift means that you have removed your mind from I am on a diet to I am on a lifestyle. It is you. You have to tell yourself. Now, I want you to type that in the comment section. Call yourself by your name. Chinasa, I am having a mindset shift. Please type that in. It starts with you have to be intentional. You are having a mindset shift. Type it there and say, I am having a mindset shift. That mindset shift is a shift from diet temporary. I will just do this after the challenge. I will japa to where? Of course, if you japa, you are jappering back to your old way of life. So whatever your goal is here, you must have a mindset that I want to be healthy. I want to be a healthier version of me. I want to grow old in a healthy way. I want to go old. I don't want by the time I'm 50, my knees, I cannot even pursue my children. I cannot pursue my grandchildren up and down. You want a situation whereby it's not by the time you're 60 or by the time you're 70, your children are taking you up and down hospitals because, mommy's every time mommy is sick, diabetes, high blood pressure. These are preventable conditions. And it starts with now. It starts with the mindset. Tell yourself that you're going to do it right this time. And this time you are choosing you. If you have not chosen yourself as priority, if you have not made yourself priority, you've not made yourself the constant in the equation, then you're not going to succeed on this healthy eating lifestyle. So starting your healthy eating lifestyle journey starts with your mind. Take note of that. The second guideline is follow a healthy dietary pattern. And first we say, eat more whole foods. Eat more whole foods. Are we together so far? Are we together so far?
Yes, Dr. Chinasa.
Perfect. So eating more whole foods. What are whole foods? You may wonder. I just like to use a simple definition of, or a simple explanation of, you ask yourself, how far from the ground did this food grow? How far did it go? That's one thing why I love the So Fresh brand, because they use a lot of plant foods close to the ground. You can see your carrots and you know it's carrots. It's not a carroty, noodlesy, something from, they'll not tell you, gotten from carrots. But you're thinking, how did they make this thing from? If you have to think about how your food was made, then probably you shouldn't be eating it every time. But if you can recognize your food that, oh, this is how it went, and this is how it is on your plate, the distance from the farm to your plate is not far. It's not a journey. Once you can imagine that, then you are eating a whole food.
Now,
So that means when you're eating more whole foods, you are automatically limiting your processed food intake. Processed. How much processing did this food go? Of course, there are a lot of you can have boiling is a form of processing. Roasting is a form of processing. But when we say there are different levels of processing, yeah? When we're talking about ultra processed, the food has changed from its original format. You need to be eating less of that and more of food that are not far from the farm. You need to be drinking more nutrient-filled beverages. Example of nutrient-filled beverages, you can have your smoothies. You can have your fresh juices. You can have your Zobo drink. You can have your tiger nut milks, your tiger nut drink, or, those are all nutrient-filled, nutrient-dense beverages. When we say a food is nutrient-dense, that means that it is rich in nutrients. So most of the time, we find ourselves going more to foods that are calorie-dense and nutrient-empty. Instead, we should be focusing on foods that are nutrient-dense and calorie-less. Do you understand? When you make that shift, you want to get most of your nutrients. We know what nutrients are. We learned that in secondary school or primary school. Proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, fat and oil, vitamins, and water. We know that. So that means that we should be drinking more water. That comes to water. Drink more water. I always say, if you're in the tropics, that is where we are. Like if you're in Nigeria, in Africa, certain places in Africa that are really hot, then you should be drinking a lot of water. Now, everybody, I hope you have your water near you. Just grab your water and drink. I'm drinking mine. We have to constantly be sipping our water, be drinking up our water. When you drink more water, you automatically crave less the other processed and sugary drinks that you shouldn't be taking. Limiting salt intake. You see, studies have shown that whether you are hypertensive or not, one major dietary risk is addition of a lot of salt. We are taking a lot of salt, both in processed food form, in packaged food forms, and in the one we add when we are cooking. So whether you're hypertensive or not, salt is, a particular study shows that addition of salt has caused more than 4 million mortality globally. That's more than 4 million deaths globally. So whether you are hypertensive or not, it is important that you limit your salt intake. And there was emphasis on that in the instructions in your meal plan. I hope everyone read the instructions. Most times you just jump into the meal plan, read the instructions over and over. And what happens is that when you reduce your salt intake, your taste buds, it takes the taste buds in your mouth, they change every 14 to 21 days. They regenerate. So it will take that time for it to change format. So something that used to think was normal before, when you eat it, you'll be like, God, why is this food so salty? But that's because your taste buds have adjusted. So please allow for that adjusting and acclimatization. And of course, you know that if you have a family history of high blood pressure, or you're even hypertensive or anything, you shouldn't even be romancing with salt. You should limit it more drastically than other people. So please take note of that. And that means that you also limit added salt. Most of the time we have our salt shakers on the table. So limit the one you add into. A particular study, that was the Global Burden of Disease study. It shows that adding in fruits and up to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day limits your risk of a heart disease by up to 25%. Can you imagine that? 25%. That is just adding in fruits and vegetables, minus doing any other thing. It reduces your risk. So it is very important. Why are you not adding in your fruits and vegetables? And this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited with the So Fresh band, because they are very intentional with this. Adding in your fruits and vegetables. So please take note of that. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, Dr. Chinesa.
Perfect. So let us move to my next slide. It's important to start making changes one food at a time, one drink at a time. This chart from the dietary guidelines show that when we focus on nutrient dense, we should focus more on nutrient dense than focusing on the regular high calorie and nutrient empty meals. When we say nutrient dense, that means, remember what we said, they are high in nutrients. So we can see from here, shredded wheat, plain shredded wheat compared to frosted shredded wheat. We can see plain low-fat yogurt with fruits compared with full-fat yogurt with added sugars. We can see low sodium. Look at that. We have to be reading our labels. Look at that, sodium 0 milligram compared to here, sodium 460 milligrams. Comparing vegetable oil to our butters, and of course, sparkling water to soda. Very important. So take note of that. You start making very small changes. Gradually, these changes will become significant. So you have pick 1, 2, 3 things while you're here. Pick, I'm going to start this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this change. And gradually, you'll start seeing the results that you want. Pay attention to your meal portion. What is a meal portion? Meal portion is usually used to define the amount of food you eat at a particular time. So if your goal is weight loss, for example, why you're here is because you want to lose weight, then you need to be eating less. There needs to be a calorie deficit. So you should be eating smaller portions. If your goal is to gain healthy weight, then you should be eating more portions. So remember that because you're eating more portion does not mean you eat more unhealthy. You can eat more portion, but more healthy portion. So instead of eating your usual 1 bowl of So Fresh salad, you decide to go for 2 bowls of So Fresh salad because you want to gain a healthy weight. Do you understand that? So you remember what we said about the healthy pattern initially? We said it has to be within what your calorie limit is, what your goals are, and that's what will determine your portions. So it's very important to take note of that. Limiting foods that are high in added sugars and saturated fats. You see, when we make these suggestions or these regulations, we always know that it's not going to be 100%. And because we know it's not 100%, there's that window that 85% of the time you should be doing nutrient-dense meals. Then the remaining 15% is for those times when you cannot pretty much avoid it. But first of all, what are foods that are high in added sugars? Our soft drinks, our sodas, our processed beverages. We know all that. If you know any more foods high in added sugar, please drop it in the comment section. Let me know. Let me see what you're saying. Okay, drop it in the comment section. Then there are other foods that are high in saturated fats, are fried foods. Animal products are actually naturally occurring sources of your cheese should be limited. So you should be doing, if you must, you're doing a low fat option, okay? And it's very important to take note of that. So the goal is that 85%, so have in your mind, 85% of the time, I am going to be eating healthy. Then those times when you're there, you have to party, then you can, that's where the 15% goes in. But most of the time, most of us are doing 50-50, 50 healthy, 50 unhealthy. You will not get results. Do you understand? So remember, it starts with a mindset shift. You're doing this for the long term. You're doing this because you want to prioritize yourself. You're doing this because you want to be intentional with what goes into your mouth. Now, take note of that. Please, it's very important. Run from trans fat. You see, a lot of countries have, I think the first country to ban trans fat in their food is that Finland. Can't remember, but it's a couple of either Finland or Denmark, a couple of foreign countries, European countries, have told food companies that you do not add trans fat in your food. Now, what happens is that trans fat is what makes all these things delicious in our minds, delicious, yes, but they are not healthy. It has been regarded that it is not healthy. How will you know a food that has trans fat? Most of the time, they are packaged foods, and you can pick it up and read it. So either they term it as partially hydrogenated oils or trans fats. So please, it's important. This is where you have to read. You have to be intentional with reading your labels. And also, baked food products are naturally trans fat occurs in baked foods, in fried foods. So you have to limit them. In sweets, biscuits, you have to limit all that, because has been considered it is not safe. And this increases your risk for chronic diseases. This increases your risk for heart diseases. It increases your risk for type 2 diabetes. It increases your risk for weight gain. So you see, this one is not, there's no middle ground. As much as possible, run. Very important. Alcohol. It's important to note that alcohol are high in calories, but they are nutrient empty. Literally, it's not even hydrating you. Possible for conditions, for certain diseases, we say there's no safe ground. But if you must, it's important for you to know that something as little as 350 mils of alcohol has as much as 150 calories. Some have 200 calories. So it's important for you to know that it is just empty calories. But you remember, it starts with a mindset shift. You are now prioritizing yourself. You see, I like to use the example of, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a keke? Your body is a keke napep. That's a tricycle. Or are you seeing your body like you're a Lamborghini or you're a Bentley? Or like, how do you value yourself? When you place a price for yourself, you'll be very intentional with what goes into your mouth. Be intentional with how you cook your food. So you see, we've talked about limiting certain things. We've talked about limiting, increasing certain foods. And because we have talked about that, what do we say healthy eating lifestyle is? We said it should make emphasis on nutrient-dense foods. That means you should be having, anytime you're eating, you should have vegetables by the side. You should have your fruits by the side. You should be using less oils. Remember that chart I showed you? You should be using less oils. You should be adding in some seeds and some nuts to your foods. You should be using more of the low-fat milk or plant milk than using full fat. These are certain things you can do while you're even cooking. Reduce the amount of salt you add to your food, and also remove the salt shakers from your table. That is the first way to start a healthy, that's the way to start a healthy eating lifestyle. We've talked about mindset shift. I hope you understand what mindset shift is. Please, do you understand? If you do, drop it in the comment section. Do you understand? Because this is key. If your mindset has not shifted, everything we're talking about here will be after now. Okay, what next? Do you understand? We've talked about following a healthy dietary pattern, which is, of course, foods that are rich in whole grains. If you're eating a food and you cannot imagine how it got to your plate, so you're now being intentional. You cannot imagine the distance between the farm and your plate, then ask yourself, should this be in my 85% or should this be in my 15%? When you want to eat a food, I'll repeat that. When you want to eat your food and you cannot determine how you cannot imagine it from, this is the farm, this was how it was initially, and this is how it is now. If you can't imagine that, then ask yourself, should this be in my 85% or should this be in my 15%? We said pay attention to your meal portions. Of course, if you want to lose weight, control your calorie intake. If you want to gain healthy weight, you can increase your healthy eating. What these healthy foods we've talked about, increase the portions. We said limit foods that are high in added sugars, added and saturated fats. We've talked about that. I hope you understand that. We said run from trans fats, and we said limit, because alcohol is full of full of calories with empty nutrient. It is nutrient empty. It's not giving you energy. So don't even fall for that. Okay. So as much as possible, you should limit that. Thank you so much for your attention. And I hope that you have learned something to help you on the healthy lifestyle journey. And thank you so much to So Fresh again for being intentional with getting more people on the healthy eating path. We are saving lives by intentionally eating healthy. You are saving your life, and you're saving, you see, whatever you learn here, teach someone else, teach your family, teach your friends. You're saving costs on health bills. You're saving costs on health time for hospital visits. But if you save for yourself, and you have to contribute for a family or a friend for something that they could have prevented, you still spend. So this message of healthy living, take it out. This message of healthy eating lifestyle, teach your family. The race is easier when you're 2 running it or when you're 3 running it. And that's why we have this community on Telegram. So please keep staying engaged, keep staying motivated, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Chinasa. Like my notebook is full. We're dropping a lot of gems, and the engagement on YouTube is a lot. A lot of people are excited. So I really like the fact that you talked about how healthy living saves costs. I mean, here in Nigeria, it's not our practice to go to the hospital. A lot of people don't want to go to the hospital. And at the same time, we don't have the practice of eating right. So I'm sure that a lot of us have a lot of questions, and people have taken notes. There's going to be a lot of things to take away from this session. So there are some questions on the chat section here on Zoom. So I'm just going to read them out to you now so we can take them before we go on to answer them. So there is this question that says, how do you know your daily calorie need?
Okay, so there's a formula to calculate that. But one thing, the standard usually is for a healthy male for a healthy female around 1,800 to 2,000, and for a healthy male between 2,000 to 2,500. So a lot of things are being considered in calculating. There's a formula actually for that. You can actually I don't want to explain the form. Just go on. You can go on Google and just calculate my basal metabolic that BMR, about that, and that would determine how much calories you need to intake for taking for that. But as a baseline, know that for females between 1,800 and 2,000, and between 2,000 and 2,500 for males. But of course, if you want to lose weight, you have to make a deficit. There has to be a deficit. So it depends on the individual. How much weight do you want to lose? 10% of your body fat, 5% of your body fat. But the goal, don't aim for, I'm going to be from eating 2,000 calories, I want to start eating 1,000 calories. You will just fail. Just make it, remember, small changes gradually over time, and you'll start seeing the results you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, what is the role of water in weight loss? So I guess this person is trying to understand like how water can affect their weight loss, or if it does affect weight loss at all.
So the thing with water is that, first of all, water makes you feel fuller faster. So when you drink more water, it's just like when you want to eat and you drink water, it's like you occupy space, so you tend to eat less. So if you're trying to lose weight, I always say, drink water first, then you eat, then drink water again. You'll be full. Unless you have natural longer throat, then that one is in the hands of the Most High. But then, if you are really wanting to lose weight and you know that, hey, my head is in the game, water helps you feel fuller faster. You eat small and you drink a lot of water. So take, for example, if you're eating from the legume family, which is some like the beans, or you're eating certain tubers like potatoes, yams, you find out that you tend to drink more water because of its high fiber content. But some people will still say, no, in their mind, they'll say, I'm actually more hungry, and then they go for more portion. But hey, drink water first. Water helps you feel fuller for longer. And it also makes you it's a natural, stops craving. So you like anti-craving, unless you have natural longer throat, I said before.
Yeah. So the next question is, what can be used to replace salt and bouillon cubes? So this question is very important because you know the way our diet is here in Nigeria. We like things that can be spice. So what can be used to replace salt and bouillon cubes?
So the thing with when you want to start making that replacement, one of the things I like to use is locust beans. Locust beans is what we call iru in Yoruba. Your Igbos call it ogiri. Hausas call it dawa dawa. So locust bean is a naturally occurring source of MSG. So it helps with that your umami taste you need. It actually stops that. But you see the thing there, the truth, let me tell you the honest truth, is that it does not taste exactly the same. That is why I said you need to have 14 to 21 days. Your taste buds will change. And once your taste buds change, you find out that you start having an aversion for those things you were eating before. You understand? So you have to wait for that conditioning. So, but then you can also play with other spices. You can play with your curry thyme, the blend of curry, thyme, ginger, crayfish, all those blend, they give you natural seasoning. But you just have to allow your mindset to condition that, hey, this is this, this is this. So for me, I've not used seasoning cubes in so many years. So, and I don't take a lot of salt. But then once I eat food that has seasoning cubes, I immediately know, my body knows. It knows the difference. You understand? Or when you take food that has a lot of salt, your body will know because your body knows the difference. So first of all, start small, okay? Start small and gradually you will now find out that you're doing without if you need to. If you don't need to, then that's fine.
Okay, so this question is really important. The person said, is red wine really good for the heart, like the pop thing?
Well, when they say red wine is good for the heart, what is good in the red wine is the carotenoids, the carotenes. You can get the carotenes from grapes, so you can eat grapes. Does that answer the question? Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, how do cereals have saturated fats?
Is what?
How do we deal with cereals with saturated fats? Since most cereals contain saturated fats.
It's all about, remember what I said at the beginning, mindset. So you're now trying to keep that saturated fat in your 15%. What will you do? You will replace with more natural cereal options. Our oats, whole oats, of course, you know that even oats has its level of processing. Instant oats is more processed than the steel cut oats, which is with old-fashioned oats different. So I like to go for the old-fashioned or the steel cut oats. You can do ogi, pap, pap. Our usual pap, and the benefit of pap comes more when you have the shaft in it. Yes, that shaft we sieve out is very high in fiber. So that is something you can also do. It's all about gradually making the changes. That's it. For me, that's what I actually did in my household. I left cereal to, like, first of all, 3 times a week. Then they added in more ogi, added in more oats. And that was it. Then after a while, we did it 2 times a week. Then now cereals 1 time a week. So now that cereals has even increased price, it's to our benefit because we'll just sit down and sip our ogi and everybody is flexing. So an ogi has even different variants. You can do corn ogi. You can do guinea corn ogi. You can do dawa ogi. You can do millet ogi. Ogi has variants. So
and I guess the good thing about it is that we are really blessed as a nation. We have a lot of healthy alternatives that we can eat around us. So then this question will be our final question. So the question says, how do I um, teach my young ones to eat healthy? How do I teach my young ones to eat healthy?
How do I teach? I didn't get that. How do you do what?
How do I teach my young ones to eat healthy?
Okay. So first of all, I usually say start small and then gradually they will just want to keep running. Now, start with adding in some more fruits and vegetables. So every day you tell them we're having fruits. Every day we're having a vegetable. The day you do not eat fruit, they'll ask you, big sis, what happened? And you know that you have gotten them. That's the first thing. Now, start playing with other options, not everyday bread. Some days you're making oats, some days you're making variety. You know, some days you're even eating just like plantain and sauce. Some days you're eating potato and sauce for breakfast, not everyday bread and tea. And then one day, if you now do bread and tea for like 4 weeks, I'm like, you don't want to do variety for us, what happened? On their own, they will start because they will start knowing that, oh, I'm either sleeping better, or I feel better, or my mood is better, because we don't even realize that what we eat affects our mood. It affects our mental health. That is the truth. So it's very important that just gradually include it. And when you don't even announce it, you know, somehow when we announce it, it's just like when you're driving in Lagos and you put on your trafficator, everybody will start speeding. That's when everybody remember that they want to do corner. But if you don't put trafficator, they'll now say, so don't even tell them that you're making that changes. Do you understand? Don't tell them you're making that. Just do it. Just do it. Apply the change, and you will find out that they will notice that something is different. Do you understand? So I think that's it for that. I hope that answered that question.
Yes, it did. So if you have any more questions, you can leave it in the chat section. You can take it to the Telegram group, and then we'll forward this question to Dr. Chinasa, and I'm sure she'll be very glad to answer our questions. So there's just one last question that I think we should address before we go. So the question goes, how do we manage abdominal fat? I think this is a very common question that a lot of us can relate to. And I think this should be our final question before we wrap things up tonight.
So abdominal fat, aka belly fat, is pretty much one of the hardest fat to go, and it needs real serious attention. Yeah. So it's not just even about, now it's 85% what you eat, 15% exercise. That's the truth about that. So what the mistake people make is they make it 85% exercise and 50% what they eat. But it is actually 85% exercise, 85% healthy eating, 15% exercise. The reason why you must be intentional with belly fat is because it increases your risk for chronic diseases. This is not, I really have no midline here. So if you need to intentionally make changes about that. Now, what do? Just take, if all these things we have talked about today, in all honesty, it is the recipe you need to sustain losing abdominal fat. The question is, are you ready to run this race? Or are you ready to do 2 weeks and then you say, this thing didn't turn from, my waistline didn't go from 50 to 35. Hello, it cannot really turn when you're not a witches and wizard. You have to be very intentional and stay consistency. With belly fat, it is consistency. You cannot do 2 weeks, then you now do another 2 weeks party after party, and then you now expect a miracle. It's not a prayer point. You have to do the work and stay consistent in doing the work. Consistency is everything. So that's for that. So everything we have listed out here today, do it and stay consistent in it, and then come back and give your testimony. Yes, Lord. So I'm done, Larry. I think I have addressed that.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Chinasa. So I just want to run through some key points, some solid points that you made. You talked about if you have to think about how your food, how your meal went from the farm to your plate, then maybe you should not be eating that meal often. So, I mean, that talks about the importance of ensuring that you have 85% healthy food versus 15%, if you feel like having a little bit of things that you crave. And you also talked about consistency, how a healthy lifestyle is not a prayer point. We have to be intentional about it. We have to take all the necessary steps. We have to take actions. And more importantly, there was something I wrote down, run from trans fats, because there are a lot of things in our diets that contains a high trans fat. And then also talking about high salt intake as well, how we need to be careful and take note of all these things. So thank you so much, Dr. Chinasa. Our guys on the Telegram group we're very excited to be on this session on YouTube. They're also very excited. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I guess this is how we wrap things up. So guys, we are still on for the next 14 days, and this is back to the Telegram group. Thank you so much, Dr. Chinasa. Good night, everyone. Good night, Dr. Chinasa.